CHIMASAFARMS
Farms right here. So I'm just showing you, our field, our maize field, and how it is coming up. Have you seen? So this is our maize field. Let me just flip the camera. So I have just flipped the camera. Have you seen? So this is CHIMASAFARMS for you, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to give you simple tips on how to go about in terms of maize farming. From what I've gathered, there are the optimum number of plants you're supposed to have in a field. That is in an hectare. In an hectare, you're supposed to plant about from about 50,000 to 60,000 plants. From 50 to 60,000. That is 55 being an average. So if you're planting in your field, if you've got about an hectare piece of land, you're supposed to plant from the range of 50,000 to 60,000 plants in that field. That is 55 being an average. And when you talk of when you measure 1 meter, maybe in a row, you measure 1 meter. In that meter, if you are planting about, if you are planting 50,000 in 1 meter, you're going to have about maybe 3 to 4 plants. If you are planting 50,000, but if you have from maybe 4 to 5, you end up having about 55 plants of maize in what? In a maize field. That is in an hectare. You are going to have about 55, which is an optimum. So, but if you for example, your 1 meter in a row of maize accumulates about maybe 6 to 7, you discover that you're going to have more plants in your field. That will be about maybe 55 and up, like 55 from 56 to 60,000 of plants in a field. That is in an hectare. And that leads to what? To overplanting. That is overplanting. When you overplant, like you put a lot of plants in your field, you discover that your plants will do what? Will be competing for a lot of things. Listen, like when you've got a lot of plants in a field, those plants will be competing for nutrients from the soil. You see that even when you put fertilizer, those plants, instead of one plant getting from that fertilizer, you find that another plant is also taking nutrients from that fertilizer. Have you seen? That will lead to what? To competition. And competition always leads in reduction in terms of yield. Have you seen? So you have to be vigilant on that. You also measure in terms of how do I plant row and column, how do I plant my fields. And again, another thing is when plants are more in a field, you find that these plants, instead of them perhaps having a lot of cobs and stuff, they will end up lodging in a field instead of, because they'll be competing for a lot of things. They'll compete for sunlight, they compete for nutrients, they also compete for space, because space is also a necessity in a maize field, because wind is supposed to pass through there, but if the plants are crowded, you find that the yield you're supposed to have, they're not going to be more. Even myself, in my case, because this is the first time that I'm doing planting maize, and from what I've observed that in some places, but I'm still learning also. These are just simple tips I'm showing, but so these are just simple tips I'm showing you from my experience, from what I've gathered. And as I said earlier in the previous video, to say people, even when they are planting for you, they are doing it right and stuff, don't trust and say they are actually doing the right thing, because at the end of the day, you're going to be disappointed. And once you're disappointed, one, you've wasted resources, time, and also your efforts. You have wasted all those things, everything. So you have to be vigilant as a farmer. When things are being done, if it means you going there on the weekend, go. Make sure that things that you are doing are on point. Things that you are doing, you are doing them properly. For me, that's what I believe in, because when talk of farming, it's a hands-on work. Not kulaisha tawe mukanshe kwefi kushifirenda shani kushani. These people work with, you'll be disappointed at the end of it all. I'm saying this and I'm speaking from experience. So on that one, it's all up to you otherwise. So for me, these are some of the things I've learned when it comes to, maize management. Those are just basics of maize planting. When you're planting maize, those are some of the basics you should understand. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, na yonse
fyama social media platforms. Ishinababomfya ni FARMLIFE ECCT. FARMLIFE, the farmer's eye is the best fertilizer. CHIMASAFARMS Life to you.